This is maize. From maize, we get maize brand. From maize, we make broken maize. From maize, we make posho, or maybe food for human beings. So with maize, you have the feed for animals. You have the feed for chickens. So in this video, we are going to share with you how do farmers get fake feeds in the market. What do the sellers of feeds do to make them fake? For a proper chicken feed, for a proper poultry feed, you should have proteins, carbohydrates, starch, minerals, vitamins, all that should be there. We feed the birds on grains, on greens, cereals, of course. However, once you alter anything to do with feeds of birds, the farmer gets into a loss. We are now exposing the fake feeds on the market. What do you call fake feeds for chicken? What do you call fake feeds on the poultry farm? If you are a farmer and you have struggled to ensure that you feed your birds, to ensure to get a big farm, the farm grows from zero something. Maybe you have a small farm and you're feeding your birds. The farm never grows. Here we are exposing the fake feeds on the market. What makes the feed a fake one? You go to the market, you find the feeds are very expensive. On top of being expensive, they're also fake. So you struggle with feeding the birds, but they never get out of the small size. They remain young. They remain very small. They never lay you eggs, never give you good eggs. And you keep asking, why? Why do I have this? My other people's farms are thriving. Why not mine? So how do they make fake feeds? Number one, these people who make feeds, they have ingredients that they have set aside to be made into fake, because they want to make the quantity, not the quality. You imagine having maize, where we get maize bran or maize jam, or maybe broken maize. If the maize is rotten and broken, spoiled maize broken, of course once it gets spoiled, they never throw it away. They make it into broken maize. They give it to your birds. And once the birds eat the broken maize that is bad, spoiled, they have that taste that they find it is always bitter. Once it is bitter, they don't like it. And once tastes bad feed, it never eats it. If it is a layer, it stops laying eggs. It's a broiler, it stops growing. Because it's not eating. So this broken maize which is spoils the appetite of the bird and never eats. In that maize, they also crush the cobs and add it in the maize. Fake broken maize. We also have maize brand. Maize brand, we have levels. There's number 1, number 2, number 3. But these days they say number 1 and number 2 are mixed. When you're crushing the maize, when you want to make posho, when you want to make right, clean, smooth flour, they remove the first level of the husk. They remove the second level, then the third level. The first and second level are mixed together. Then we call it mixed maize bran. That one we call it mix as we go to buy. So that one is okay. Usually it is okay. But sometimes it's also not okay. They add in maize cobs, they break them, they crush them, they put in that one because they all look brown. It looks brown, sometimes white, but it's always brown because it is mixed. Badly dried, that is a fake feed. Now, the number 3 they remove from the maize, it is white in color, almost like posho, because that white maize bland. That maize bland is the same as cassava flour. Once the maize prices go up and the cassava flour goes down, they always put in cassava flour. But recently we've discovered that cassava flour is not heavy, so it doesn't weigh as much as maize bran. So they add an alternative of lime. This lime, once well crushed, it becomes very smooth and like salt. Lime is very cheap, 500 shillings in Ugandan currency. If $1 is 3,700 Ugandan shillings, that means 500 shillings in Ugandan shillings is very small. But that fine maize bran can go up to 1,000 shillings. That means it is more expensive than lime. So they crush the lime, add it in the maize bran. What is even heavier? So once you put 10 kilograms of lime in 100 kilograms of maize bran, you cannot know. That is now because a kilogram of maize bran is more expensive than that of lime. So they add in lime. You go put on the weighing scale, you buy. You see your birds are becoming thin and thin and thin. They're not laying. We are feeding our birds on lime instead of maize bran. You can imagine that. People are doing it. Crazy, they are doing it. We have this problem whereby these people, they get silverfish. This is our silverfish. We call it mukene or mena daga in Kenya. They add in the sand. You can imagine getting this lake plaster sand. They put in the fish. Because we buy fish on kilograms. So they put in the sand to make it heavy. In every 100 kilograms of fish, if you are a keen farmer, always sieve it. There's always 30 kilograms of sand. You can imagine you're feeding your birds, you're happy. Because if you want to get your birds give you good eggs, buy the uncrushed silverfish. The uncrushed one, that one you can sieve it. But if it's already crushed, there is sand already, so you can't make it smooth. You can't sieve it. Your birds are feeding on sand, my dear. If they're not laying, if they are not growing, just know they are feeding on sand. And we have a solution. Just buy the uncrushed silverfish and save it yourself, crush it yourself. We have another fake ingredient on the market. The mega concentrates. Concentrates are so common today. Everybody's feeding on concentrates because, number one, they save time. They're convenient. They have been sung. Everyone says concentrates are so good. Companies are so many, mushrooming everywhere. There's so different companies of concentrates. What do they put in? Only God knows. Only them know. They have to decide for us. You can imagine a concentrate whereby you need to have minerals, protein, and all the vitamins there should be there. But they can put what they want. They write on 20% crude protein, but it's only like 16. You have no say. You don't know what they put in. They put it 20, 35, 10%, 5%. These concentrates are in a level of 5% crude protein, 10% crude protein, 20% crude protein, 35%, 30%, but the only God knows what they put there, my brother, my sister. It's always better that you go and test those feeds. If you have a lab where you can test, thank God. If you can't, please test. But of course, I've always said, with the layers, once you give the feeds, check the intake, the feed intake. If they're not taking it well, should you have right maize bran, right concentrates. If they're not taking it well, find out. If they're not sick, there is a problem. Either the concentrates have changed. Always consider, if you're buying concentrates, there is always different color. Once in a while you find it's brown, it is more white. These guys, only God knows. And we pray that if you can watch this video and the feed maker, please don't forge feeds. Don't give us fake feeds. We are into business. We need the profit. Why do you do that to us? My fellow farmers, we always pray that we become genuine. Always genuine. These feed makers have become so crazy and so weird. You can imagine this lime that is black in color, that resembles charcoal. You can imagine these guys are adding charcoal into lime because they know charcoal is free. These charcoal leftovers are free. Just crushing it and taking it to the machine, making it lime, look like lime. Crazy, I'm telling you, things are becoming so weird. Then you're feeding your birds on charcoal only instead of lime. Yes, charcoal works, but is it what you wanted? Alternatives could be like getting your own shells from the sea. Crush them. Get the shells, crush them. Get the lime. Clean white lime. Instead of buying things which are already packed, we don't know what is there. Can you imagine we are feeding our birds on clear stones in the form of lime? They are really stones. And the bird is eating stones. I don't know. We are just there struggling. It's Maker Taps once again, sharing with you what I have gone through experience. How have I known that there are fake feeds on the market? How? How do I know about fake feeds? 7 years ago, I got experience on the farm whereby my birds were developing a bone here. Very malnourished birds developed malnutrition. I remember I went to one vet shop. I asked them for medicine. For them, when you go there, they have no mercy. They give you medicine. They charged me 130,000 because I told them my birds were not eating, they were getting malnourished, the bone was already out, everything they had no immunity, they were falling sick. They made me a calculation, 130,000 Ugandan shillings. $1 equals 3,700 Ugandan shillings. So you can imagine if you put your own currency. I went and gave the birds all that medicine. It didn't work because I had bought a concentrate from one supplier that I can't mention here because for the security purposes, I cannot make his business struggle. But still, if any books might tell you the business, who made my birds suffer, he's still on the market. But of course, he has collapsed a little because of such. So I tried all the things I could. I went into another shop. One Kenyan guy in Uganda told me, bring the bird. I brought 2 birds for sample. When I gave them to him, he told me, Cut-ups, this is malnutrition. This is poor feeding. I was like, what? I'm giving concentrates to my birds. Remember, like 7 years ago, I had just very few companies doing concentrates in Uganda. Very few. There were like 3 or 4. 3 or 4, there are so many. But those companies, some of them were trying. And no farmers are. We farmers, people don't mind a lot about feeds. If you are a new farmer, I'm sorry to say, learn. Knowledge is not poison. Keep learning every day. Watch the videos, discover, go on the farms, ask your fellow farmers, ask vets. So for me, I went into that because I didn't know. So the guy gave me fake feeds until I got that guy who saved me, and my chickens started thriving because they started getting meat, flesh on their bones. I can't fail to share this story with you. My fellow farmers, how can you control and avoid these fake feeds on the market? Basically, you should always try to buy from genuine sellers. There is always that one person in the market that has good feeds. Let it be concentrates, let it be maize bran, let it be maize. There is always that one genuine person. Once you discover and your birds are doing well, please stick to that one person. Because when you change, this week you're going to buy from seller 1, the next week you go to the other producer B. No, you cannot know who is killing your birds. Stick to one supplier. Also try to understand the labels. If it is a concentrate that has a yellow label, usually they stick to their labels. They don't change easily. But sometimes try to check the labels. One day it will save you. Try to check the smell. Know the smell of the feed that we are buying. If it is maize bran, can you tell the smell of maize bran? Can you tell the smell of cassava and maize bran? Can you tell the smell of charcoal and lime? Can you check the fish that has no sand? Try to learn these things. Do you know the color of the concentrates? Do you know the color of the medicine you're buying? The additives you put in? Please try to learn all that. You need to know the quality of the feeds. What is the productivity? Once the birds are producing this number of eggs, they're eating this feed. If they lower, try to ask why. Understand the bookkeeping, record keeping on your poultry farm so that you always have these things done without any doubts. The cry of the two brings the strength for togetherness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cut-ups once again. I love you so much. Thank you for watching our videos. Please, if you're new on this channel, subscribe so that we can give you other videos always. We'll give you 2 videos every week. If you've been on this channel, share the videos. We don't want people to miss these videos. Let people know that there are people who are having good hearts, sharing what they are going through. I've gone through experience of all of this. So please, let's meet in another video. Thank you so much for watching.